evening and welcome to Blue Suede News. We'll be reviewing the good, the bad and the utterly stupid of the last 7 days. I will bring on the guests without wasting any more time. We have Katie Brown.
Hello.
George Coppen.
Hey.
And Professor John.
Good evening.
So we've got no viewer comments at the moment, but if you're watching the show, please leave us a comment and say hello and we'll say hello back. And what I'll do at this point in time is ask my guests to introduce themselves. So we'll go to Professor John first. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Professor John. Daytime an academic, nighttime an attempted comedian. Probably shit at both, but enjoying my life anyway.
Way to sell yourself.
Thank you very much. We also have Katie Brown.
Hi, I'm Katie, and I don't really do a lot other than this. But we're nearly allowed out to play again soon, so watch your space because I'm going to be quite busy, I think.
Okay, thank you very much. And we also have George Coppen.
Hello. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit warm in here. I've seen this new t-shirt.
Oh,
Well, my apology, Amber, it's just got a bit of dirt on it, so just let me...
it's like my brother.
Let me just get rid of dirt. Oh, and you look at that! I've got every Saturday, you know. Yeah, I've got a nice one to run and play that show with yours, is it, Roger? You know.
Yeah, if you want any Blue Suede News merchandise, you can look in the comments and there's a link to my merch shop on Teespring. So anyway, we do have some viewers watching. Let's see who they are. Hi, Ben. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Ben.
Ben. Do you know you look like Meatloaf in that picture?
She means
Is that
the food.
what you're going for? I don't mean the food.
So, and we have got Lord Sparkles.
Hello, Lord Sparkle. Hello.
Hola.
And Ben says yes. Are you a Meatloaf fan?
Me? Yeah. Who isn't?
So, and he's
I
put.
do give off a Meatloaf vibe. That's the food. He looked.
Ben, when you do your own comedy show, please let it be called that.
I do give off a Meatloaf vibe.
Meatloaf bar.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
It needs to have that name on your show on Saturday.
Yeah, tomorrow night. That's your new name.
Yeah, Ben Holmes. I do give off a Meatloaf.
Yeah.
Or Ben Meatloaf Holmes.
Yeah.
Ben Holmes, pocket meatloaf.
Oh, I don't want to know about his pocket meatloaf. Thank you very much. I'll let you ask him that.
And he says, a dwarf out of hell. Okay, let's move on to our first round. And believe it or not, I nearly clicked the wrong video there. Reason being,
Well done. True professional.
that would have surprised my guest after going to pains to tell him we've got a new first round. Here's the video.
What are they up to now?
So, right, what are they up to now? This is the point where we see who's been talking about things in the government this week. Shall we see who's first? Well, the government department's here. Let's see who's going to be the first one we're going to be talking about. Is it going to be Boris? No. 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 Oh, no, it's not him. It's not Hancock. It's Boris.
Bingo!
Bingo.
That's amazing.
So what story am I talking about this week? Do any of you know?
Something to do with not being allowed to go on holiday abroad.
No,
it's not. No, it's flying flags on government buildings, flying the Union flag on government buildings.
To be quite honest, I'm amazed. I've done an animation where there's a flag on every single government building in the animation.
Well, got there in the end. Got there.
Yeah,
They're particularly keen on this in Scotland, I gather.
Well, we'll come on to Scotland shortly. Boris has announced this week that they're changing regulations to allow government buildings to fly the flag 365 days of the year rather than just on special occasions. What he hasn't said is that there's no reason why they couldn't before. And this doesn't force them to do it. They don't have to do it. It's just a regulation that says they can. So what's changed?
How
Why
has
the
this
big
made
announcement?
it into the news?
It's a
Would you
nothing
rather
story.
What is this diverting our attention from?
I think he may be diverting our attention from a story I'm going to bring up shortly. Okay. Now, Professor John.
Yes.
Well, carry on.
Well, the thing is, I think the principle should be extended so that everything has a flag on it that reflects its funding and origin, and then we'll see just how little of British industry is actually British anymore. And every 10 yards on a motorway, you're going to have a European Union flag still. That would be fun.
But
So,
does this mean that on special occasions they're going to take the flag off? So it's a special occasion, so there's no flags.
On special
You'll no
occasions,
longer.
they're going to glitter the shit out of it.
You'll no longer know it's a special occasion.
No.
Because if you saw a Union flag out on a government building, you used to think, oh, it's the Queen's birthday, or is it something, or is it, But no.
I know why. You have to get a flag out every time Boris Johnson has a kid, so that's why the flag's out all year round to celebrate each one of his children. It makes sense now.
So,
to be fair, whenever I go past a building that's got a Union flag out, I generally think this is where a racist lives. So now it's going to be very difficult to tell.
I mean, if they're all outside Parliament, it won't be.
But as
John
says, the Scottish are a little bit upset about it.
I wonder why.
Shall we see who particularly is upset about this?
Jimmy Cranky.
And do you know what he's done?
Looks like he's holding his cock behind there.
It's either a very burny piss or it's just at that moment.
No, you know that face you pull when you're in the woods having a piss, you're being caught. That's the face he's pulling.
So what has Alex Salmond announced today?
He'll no longer piss in woods.
No. He's going to form a new vanity project party, isn't he? He's going to.
Yeah. Do you know what it's called?
Alba or something, isn't
Alba Party. Yeah, it's a little less fun than an ABBA party.
I used to have an Alba karaoke machine, and that was a terrible party.
Oh, I'm going to give you one of these as well.
Thank you.
Very good.
The males in the party will be albumen, so they'll all be good eggs.
So, yes, he's going to be campaigning for Scottish independence. Who'd have thought?
That worked so well last time. Why not do it again?
Yeah, he'll probably ask Nigel Farage to help him. So, anyway, so that's the first part of this first round.
Can I ask a question about this picture?
Yeah. Who's next?
Can I just ask, where the heck in England can you go to visit the giant pencil? Because I really want to go there and visit that giant pencil. I want to go and see that.
Who's it going to be? Ah, it's Priti Patel.
Oh, goody.
Everyone's
been
favourite.
up to?
No, but she's gnawing her teeth by the look of it.
She just can't. She doesn't want the Union flags up. She's upset.
She's been talking about a new immigration policy.
Oh yeah. This is sort of the equivalent of first class travel preference, isn't it? If you can get to this country by an official scheme, i.e., in the country that you're desperately trying to escape because your life is in danger, you manage to be one of the very few people who are helped out by an official scheme. then you'll get preferential consideration in the UK. But if you risked everything and used every last penny and cent you had to get here by whatever means, you'll be told to piss off immediately.
Yep. So, spot on, Professor John. That's what she said. Do you want to hear a little video of something she's saying about her new policies? Right.
Give us a laugh. Come on.
To actually give people the safety that they need, people that are fleeing persecution.
It's a shame she didn't do that with her employees.
Yeah.
Very
But
true.
I was watching that just thinking, I hope to God that pole behind her falls over and just whacks her square on the head. but it's not really a special occasion because she didn't have the flag up.
How somebody can try and come across as compassionate to people who are persecuted when she bullies people in her own department.
The thing is, anybody watching that knows that that's not sincere.
No.
There was nothing. That was like
It was coming out of her mouth.
that was like, you know, on the original Witches film where any of the witches are trying to be nice to their children. That's her right there. She's like luring them into a false sense of security, and then she's gonna eat them.
That was about as sincere as a brick.
Yeah. I'm just popping that on the screen for a second or so.
Thank you. I don't want to see the pencils you use, Lord Sparkles.
All pencils are giants. Philosophically speaking.
I think you need to have a word with Lord Sparkles, George.
I know. I'm not having him back. Well, on fun night every Saturday.
Also, they announced the £5,000 fine for people leaving the country, which is crossing the border. So I thought I'd discuss it in this section. This is for people who leave the country with no real reason for leaving. You can only leave for medical reasons or to work or for childcare. Dominic Cummings actually went to France recently for childcare. So...
What is this like the same as before?
You can now be fined £5,000 for leaving the country if you're just going on
Unless
holiday.
you're a politician.
Unless you're Stanley. If you're Stanley Johnson, it's
Which
fine because you can go to your villa and prep it ready for the people you rent it out to.
Yeah,
absolutely, because he always does that himself.
Absolutely, yeah, of course.
So, all right. Shall we see if we've got any more in this round?
Ooh.
Or is there going to be someone else?
Peek-a-boo.
Oh, we're off again.
These are great animations.
It's amazing.
Who's next? Who's next? Oh, it's Boris. And what's that? It's Needle.
Prick. No, it's prick and a needle.
What has Boris hinted at this week to do with vaccinations?
He's going to have a vasectomy.
No.
What, via vaccination?
I said vaccinations, not vasectomies.
We all might have to have a vaccine passport, I think. But they're very nervous, aren't they, about introducing this before everyone's had the chance to have a vaccine, because it'll mean like old farts like me have an advantage in life for once. We've actually had our vaccine and can prove it, and we can swan about doing what the hell we like. Whereas you youngsters can't. Although I believe that some of you may have had a vaccine already.
Yeah,
I think I'm the only one
that hasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already saying, some airlines are saying you'll need to have the vaccine before you can fly. Cruise ships are saying it. It's hinted at by Boris Johnson that licensed premises may require it, such as pubs and nightclubs, which will mean music venues and festivals and things like that.
Oh,
now,
poor anti-vaxxers can't get hammered.
To be quite honest, I don't like the way there's a lot of vitriol over people who don't want the vaccine. Right? Now, if they don't want it because they've got misinformation, yes, I would say to them, no, I think you're wrong on that. Yeah, I don't think it does that or something like that. But it is a fundamental human right. They can choose not to have a vaccine.
Yes. However, if enough people aren't vaccinated, then we go back to what we've endured for the last year. So, and I think enough people will go for it anyway. So,
I think enough people will go for it anyway. So why have the vitriol and encourage the vitriol by making this vaccine passport idea?
Well,
I mean, it's like making it mandatory by the back door.
But that's like saying you don't have a right to go into a pub anyway, because any shop or any retail premises, because the owner has the right to refuse. Now, it's just accepted that everybody will go. But then if you've decided you don't want to have the vaccine, then that's fine. That's up to you. But then you still don't have a right to go into that pub.
No,
nobody has a right to. So maybe I agree, possibly not. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if there's a right or wrong way to deal with it. I think that we need to be in control as much as we can be in control. And if that is a way of us having control over the way that and getting our lives back to some sort of normality, then I'm sort of for it.
I would encourage people to have vaccines. What I don't like is people saying, if you don't have vaccines, you're killing me grandma and things like that. That kind of vitriol which you get.
No, there's no need
it's the
for that,
government, and the government, by doing things like this, is pushing it that you have to have vaccines, and it's pushing that vitriol because people believe they're on the right side by ignoring other people's human rights.
Yeah, and then, I mean, the media don't help with that. And if we didn't have any media coverage, and if all we ever had was what somebody has said, no comment. Like, if Boris said his little speech and there was no, oh, well, we think this means that and we think this means that and this is our interpretation of it, then there would be a lot less animosity anyway, and a lot less scaremongering and a lot less fear. And go on, sorry.
It's the animosity I don't like.
No,
and it's the way they divide society at the moment, and everything is, I hate you because you believe this. And it's, I am actually for the vaccine. Don't get me wrong, but I would never say to someone, I hate you because you haven't been vaccinated. It's their choice.
No, I don't hate anybody for not getting vaccinated, but don't go in the pub if you're carrying a disease. I mean, the way it happens with the other vaccines is that enough people in the society tend to be vaccinated that it covers the whole society. Yeah, and we're nearly at 40%, so we're doing well. And I think we will hit 80 because there's not that many people. I think we'll hit 80. Yeah, and there's not that many people that don't want to have it. And as you say, it is your right to decide whether you have it or not. And you don't deserve the fallback from it. However, I don't disagree with not letting people who haven't had the vaccine travel or go to a pub or something. In this instance, maybe like next year when we know what the impact of the vaccine is and how well it works, then fair enough. But at the minute, while we don't know what's going to happen or how it's going, then if you haven't had the vaccine and you're going out, there is still a chance that you're going to be spreading it, and we're not going to get any better than we are at the moment.
So anyway, that
was quite serious, wasn't it?
That was quite serious.
I'm not used to that.
Let's go on to something a little bit less serious, but still quite serious. Shall we see who the next candidate is?
Okay.
Who's it going to be?
I just love watching him pop up.
Hello.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
It's Priti Patel again.
She done now.
Oh, protesters. So what's happened with protesting?
They're trying to push it through that you can't do peaceful protests at all now, aren't they?
No.
Well, you can actually do peaceful protests.
From Monday, you can.
But they have to be peaceful and quiet.
So does that make you mean go on Twitter?
If you make too much noise while you're protesting, you can be told to stop.
Yeah,
Well,
this is the one
out.
that's being rushed through, isn't it? And
this is the one that's being rushed through.
This is all over your freedom to speak.
Pisses all over your freedom to protest. And the fact that they've got it in there, you can protest, but if you can't make too much noise, because if you make too much noise and disrupt someone like Parliament because you're shouting outside,
which is the point of a protest.
Yeah,
and they never shout.
You can be dispersed.
And yeah, this is where our anger needs to be. It just.
I think it's fine if you're protesting on behalf of the Laryngitis Society, because no one will hear you. I gather also it has to be organised by a recognised body, like a business or a charity or something. So so I guess Weatherspoons could organise an anti-lockdown protest.
What, you order your protest on the app? Well, you order a riot on the app. Table 5. I'll have a jug of riot, please.
Great idea. Then you can have a riot pack delivered by Deliveroo.
I genuinely think this is what their concern is at the moment, because people's tensions are so high, and we've all been locked away for like a year, and we're getting close to being let out. I mean, look what's just happened in Bristol. Just that little bit of freedom. When we were given a bit of freedom on VE Day, everyone went boo loopy, and it was just absolute carnage. And now we're getting close to all holes barred. Everybody do what you want. It's a free for all. 21st of June. Yeah. And I think they are genuinely concerned that there will be mass rioting, and I think this might be part of their way of saying, let's just tone it down a bit. Don't agree with it at all. I think that it's poorly managed.
I actually think this could be a good idea, because it gives someone who could be out of work a job, because you could put Andy Murray in charge and that won't get allowed at all. You would be just the calmest protest and the most quietest protest ever if you put Andy Murray in charge. Simple. I don't know if he's busy at the moment, but simple. Put him in charge.
So anyway, that's the story about you are still allowed to protest, but quietly. So you have to be really quiet.
Like a silent fart.
Yeah, like a silent fart. They
can still be deadly.
Let's move on to the second round of the show.
Faking it.
So what joys have I got for you this week? This is the round of the show where I give each of my guests a story, and they have to tell me whether it's fake news or real news. The first one I'm going to do, I'll do the picture first. I'm going to give this to Professor John.
Oh, God. I'm not very good at this round.
It's Roger's OnlyFans account.
So, are you ready, John?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Walrus spotted in Wales. A walrus has been spotted at the bottom of a Welsh cliff just days after one was seen off the coast of Ireland. Do you want a bit more?
Yes.
Cleopatra Brown of Welsh Marine Life Rescue was called to the scene where the walrus was sat there chilling.
So is he called Anthony if she's Cleopatra? Now, I'm biologically challenged here because I don't know how unusual it is to have a walrus here, but I've got this somewhere in the back of my mind. I've heard something about a walrus, and I've got a feeling this poor fella met some kind of sticky end, but I can't remember what it was. But if one can get to Ireland, one can get to Wales, so I'll say it's true.
Okay, so you're saying it's fact.
Yes.
Shall we see if you're right?
No. Yes.
Cleopatra Brown went on to say it was a whopper. I've seen them on telly and the news, but it was huge. So the creature was seen near Broadhaven, South Beach, Pembrokeshire on Friday before it managed to get back into the sea. They are normally found further north.
Aren't they lovely? Look
That's
at
not the
that.
one that died, is it?
I've got no idea. All I know is it was spotted on the... That one is slightly more ginger than it looked in the original photograph. I've done that in honour of Katie's business.
Thanks very much.
Where she adopts
So,
walruses.
No, he's called Ginger Walrus.
I really hope that's not Roger's OnlyFans account now. That he just said that.
Those teeth are like mine were before I had braces at age 14.
I'm sure Katie will plug her business later in the show.
I'm sure I will.
So if you should just remember the walrus picture, that'll be fine. So anyway, who shall go to next? I think we'll go to Katie next.
True, that one.
A woman who won 1.46 million on the national lottery has been arrested for setting fire to her boss's car. Emma Bogus, 47, went into work and poured petrol on her boss's BMW car and set fire to it. Later, Emma told police she didn't expect to be arrested, as she said, "It was just a joke. I'll just buy him a new one."
Yeah, true. I believe that. I would. That's something I would do.
Believe true.
So
She was so
you-
happy.
I'd go in and burn someone's house down and go, "You all right? I'm going to buy you a new one. It's fine."
So
What's
so
that?
you're saying
What's that? Your cat was in the attic. Oh my! I'll buy you a new one of them and all. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
What's that? Your son was in there. Yeah, I can't help with that.
It's all right. I'll get you a dog.
so you're saying it's true?
I think that's true.
Oh, God, please be true, please.
Wow, Roger, I'm impressed. You've upped your game. You had names, ages, facts. Wow.
You know
I
what?
keep noting down all the reasons why you say it's fake and making sure they're in the next story.
Do you know what this looks like? You know that meme of that little girl standing in front of that house that's on fire with a grin on her face? This is the older version of her.
That's her in 20 years. Where are they now?
That's her now.
I should state that is Emma Bogus.
Right.
What's her
Right.
name?
She's the director. Oh, she's one of the directors at the National Lottery.
If you win, there's a bit of a fixer.
Okay, so this leaves one last person, which I believe is George.
I believe that's true.
Here's your picture, George. Police broke up a group of people having an illegal bonfire party with a sex doll hanging from a tree at a nature reserve in Leicester. Officers attended after receiving report on Saturday.
Do you have any more info, please?
The South Leicester neighbourhood team tweeted it never thought officers would discover this in the woods.
Yeah, you'd normally expect it in the streets, wouldn't you?
Yeah, in Leicester, anything goes.
Yeah, it's true. Oh god, I vaguely remember hearing something about a big group being caught out doing something. Oh, I'm gonna be really annoyed if I get this wrong. 'Cause I don't want you to win, Roger.
I don't give points out, because points on this show mean
Sodom!
Oh,
True. I'm gonna say it's true.
So you're saying true.
Fact.
Shall we see whether you're right or not?
I'll go on there.
God.
It was a fact. We've
that's
got
a
this
sex
comment
doll,
from...
Why have they dressed it?
I don't know. And why put up a tree? You can't reach it from there.
Did he have marshmallows?
No, it's just cold.
They needed someone to look up to.
I get that a lot.
Right, let's now that's the faking it round finished. A little bit disappointing this week, 1-2 to the
That
West.
That was a ripper, though.
You let us down there, Katie.
I know, I'm sorry. He played me. He played me like a fiddle.
To be fair, I would have said it true on that one. I love that.
I would have done it as well. So when I win the lottery tonight, expect your car to be on fire tomorrow.
Nobody give Katie your address.
Buy a
Okay,
new one.
let's go to the let's go to the next round.
Prat of the week.
In this round, each of my guests have nominated a Prat for the Rogers Blue Suede News Prat of the Week contest. My guests will be given 45 seconds in which to justify their nomination, and at the end of the 45 seconds, I will adjudicate over who the Prat of the Week is, and once I've adjudicated, announce who the Rogers Blue Suede News Prat of the Week is. So let's introduce our first Prat of the Week. This is Marius Kaminski, as nominated by George Coppen. George, your 45 seconds starts now.
Well, this guy faked being kidnapped so he could get a day or two off work. He couldn't be bothered to go to work, so he texted his boss saying, I need your help, I've been kidnapped. Now, obviously that's a horrible thing to do, and no one should pretend to be kidnapped because it happens to too many people. But one of my favourite bits about this article is that he said that he, in his own words, he's desperate for work, he really needs the money. So you need the money, so you faked being kidnapped and got sacked. Like, what? I don't get, like, why would you just say, oh, I can't come in, I've got the flu? You know, you get like a week off. Don't pretend to be kidnapped and then be surprised you got sacked and panic because you need a job to support your family. You absolute muppet.
Right. That's the end of your 45 seconds. I would say he also reported his own kidnapping to his friend by text message, and his friend transferred £1,600 to the so-called kidnappers to
He's
free
not that
him.
much of a prat then.
He's been sentenced to 16 months in prison and ordered to pay back £1,750 compensation.
Yeah, but all that money he's saving on rent while he's banged up, he's so.
And he may need to text his boss saying he can't come into work. Because he's been arrested.
Don't need a job anymore.
Yeah, he's been arrested. Like, genuinely has been arrested. He's not messing about this time.
Right. Let's look who the next nomination is. This is Kaylin Marie, as nominated by Katie Brown. So I believe I've got, if I do that, I've got a second picture which will make Katie Brown's nomination a bit more relevant. So your 45 seconds starts now.
So this fucking genius went on holiday and was pissing about with some like wild animals, and she's got this photo of this octopus in her hand going, oh, isn't this octopus lovely? This beautiful octopus, I've never seen one like it. Turns out it is the deadliest octopus that has ever lived, and it will kill its bite will kill 26 or something human beings, just and you won't even know you've been bitten until you're dead, because its bite doesn't even hurt. So she's there going, oh, look at this on Instagram. And she very narrowly escaped dying. Also, before you do anything else, she's got a fucking octopus in her hand out of the water. Where do octopuses live? In the water. Don't be a dick. Don't piss about with nature. Leave it where it is. And
my favourite moment of that was when you said, she'll know when she's been bitten when she's dead. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I must have been bitten.
Yeah. Their bites are tiny and often painless. Many victims do not realise they've been bitten until respiratory depression and paralysis begins.
I know
So
it's too
guys,
late.
remember, small things can be dangerous. Just putting that
Right.
out there.
What's nice about this story is that nobody actually got injured.
No, she did survive. She was fine. She wasn't
Yeah,
bitten.
and she was fine. No really bad after effects or anything like that.
It's a shame she's really stupid because she's quite cute.
Now,
They
the
normally
next
go hand in
story,
hand, George.
Well, thank you. I am quite stupid.
the next nomination, and as I reveal this, I'll say the person. Right, it's Abby Quinnin. Right. Before I reveal any more, I must say this was Professor John's nomination, and he has asked me to change the nomination, but he came in a bit late. So Professor John has actually changed his nomination from Abby Quinnin to YouTube. I'm sure he'll explain why himself, right? But he nominated Abby Quinnin, and I was going to point out the error of his ways, but he spotted them himself. She was doing... Abby Quinnin is H.A. Pritchard's girlfriend. Now, when someone's introduced as A.J. Pritchard's girlfriend, you know she's not actually the famous person in the couple. But she became injured, and we'll explain why. I'll show possibly what happened afterwards, right? But just to show you the aftermath of the injuries, I've got a before and after picture. Okay, so Professor John, your 45 seconds starts now to explain why YouTube is the prat of the week.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll do a hospital past that, but I'm my own worst enemy. I saw in the news this week that Abby Quinnin had put an Instagram post saying, everybody, pay attention. Don't try to turn an empty wine bottle into a nice vase using fire, because it may all go wrong. And because I did this and I got hurt, and I'm really warning everyone not to do it. And I thought, well, that was a very stupid thing to do. So I nominated her. And then I saw the picture and similar that Roger saw. And I thought, oh, my God, the poor girl. She was really badly hurt. And she's had 7 weeks of on-off treatment. So my real prat of the week is YouTube for having self-instructional videos, which she and AJ were following, about how to turn a wine bottle.
Right. Shall we have a look at one of these self-instructional videos?
Yeah, because I couldn't track it down. I'm interested to see.
The do not try this at home has been put on there by me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was about to say that's the best way to start a tutorial video.
I don't know if this was the video they were watching, but this has the same technique in as what they try to use.
It looks like it.
Oh yeah, like that's gonna work.
Now the thing is, it looked crap at the end of it. It had jagged edges and everything. So why on earth you'd want to do this? I do not know.
They've got money as well. Just go out and buy a fucking lamp.
That's what I was just thinking. They've got money for fancy candles and all that crap.
You can pay somebody thousands of pounds. They'll do that dangerous shit for you.
Yeah, I'll make you a shit one for that money.
So
I ended up feeling really angry with YouTube for having stuff like this on, because you know, people do these things. My wife, who knows everything, tells me, yes, this is a recognised craft. Doing this kind of
she's
stuff.
done one.
But I mean, they might as well self-instructional videos for how to defuse a Second World War bomb you happen to find on a building site, or how to single-handedly fight ISIS. You know, it seems to me to be grossly irresponsible. And thank you, Roger, for allowing me to change tack on that one.
This lineup looks like a start of a really dark documentary.
It does look like he's murdered both of those.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The police were looking for him.
But he's really surprised about it.
What, me?
The thing is, when I first started this out, I wasn't going to pick Abby because, like I say, I was going to chastise John for picking her and saying I'm not having a prat of the week who's managed to injure themselves that much, unless it's a criminal. Okay.
That is what the Darwin Awards are. So
Yeah.
technically, she's just a Darwin survivor.
Yeah. Therefore, she's not even managed to win that award. Kayla Marie picking up an octopus, a small octopus that could have killed her and 26 other people. That's almost as bad as catching COVID. It's by going abroad. And YouTube for showing a lot. I wonder how many people have injured themselves following YouTube videos.
Oh, there must be not countable. It's ridiculous. The shit that's
There
on there.
must be a lot.
Even if you count the kids that have been tied up because they're speaking in an American accent because they've been watching some monkeys dribble.
So if you'd picked YouTube from the start, Professor John, I think I'd have awarded it to you. But because I haven't got a slide for that, I can't.
Did my serial killer get a look in?
He's not a serial killer. He phoned up to say he got kidnapped. And to be quite honest, I think he's a bigger prat than Kaylee Marie because she was taking an interest in nature. And she probably put the octopus back. So I'm going to nominate Marius Kaminsky as my prat of the week.
And I think that's well deserved.
Yeah. To be fair, if I was honest, I was backing Katie's woman.
Do you know what? He's not much above Karen Matthews. The only reason he's better than Karen Matthews is because he pretended to kidnap himself, not his daughter.
So I don't know why Ben Holmes says, "Do you have Abby's number, John?" I think that was the before picture.
I don't think she likes meatloaf. I think she's with AJ Pritchard. She just likes a certain type.
Mario.
Lord Sparkle says Mario gets my vote. Well, there's no doubt about that. So anyway, so that's Prat of the Week over, and I've looked at the comments. One thing I will say is that if you're enjoying the show, you can buy us a coffee at that link there, and it's also in the comments. If at the beginning of the comments you'll find that link. Coffees are £2 each, and any coffees purchased will be distributed evenly between my guests on tonight's show. So why not buy us a coffee? Thank you very much.
Because I am on Aldi shit at the minute, and I need some better coffee. So, I know we've just done Red Nose Day, Comic Relief and everything, but right, if I have to drink Aldi shit coffee at work anymore, I'm gonna be guilty of some sort of mass murder.
I don't think they send you a packet when they donate. I think it's just one cup, not a packet.
That's fine. It's all it'll take. one mug.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next round.
The good, the bad, and the utterly stupid.
This is where we have a roundup of this week's other news items. If any of our viewers watching would like us to discuss anything, please mention it in the comments and we'll see if we get time to cover that. But I've pre-selected some stories, so let's move straight on to the first one, which is staff at Broomhill Infant School in Sheffield were put at risk when they were offered £30 appointments with a professional hairdresser at the school. Okay, has anyone seen this story before?
No, I've not seen this.
Yep.
Basically, the head teacher arranged for a hairdresser to come into the school and was offering £30 haircuts to all the staff who wanted a haircut, and the £30 will go to charity. Okay. the problem is one of the teachers was quite upset about this obvious breach of COVID rules, because why would you be able to pay £30 to have a haircut in a school when you can't go to a hairdresser's?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Right. Now, they complained to their local union, informed health and safety, who went and spoke to the head teacher. Now, I don't really have a problem with the union doing that because it is against COVID rules, right? One of the problems I have, I'll read the email sent out by the head teacher afterwards, right? This isn't sour grapes at all. I have just received a phone call from Health and Safety regarding the well-being hair appointments. What a shame whoever had a worry couldn't speak to me. I honestly thought that we had an open culture at Broomhill, where if any one of us had a problem, they would feel comfortable to come and chat to either myself or the senior leaders. The appointments have now been cancelled for all those who signed up and will not have their hair cut. Perhaps the person who made the complaint would like to forego their well-being day next time. Many senior leaders don't really care about the staff and their well-being. Ask anyone who has worked in different schools. Perhaps a more formal, non-caring approach would suit you.
That was a full and frank apology, wasn't it? Let's face it. I mean, I'm obviously a very contrite person. I noticed also that the chair of the governors said that once it was drawn to the head teacher's attention that this was against COVID rules and extremely unsafe, I should add, it was immediately cancelled. What interests me is it had to be drawn to her attention that this was against COVID rules.
When you started the story, I was really hoping that it would end with like teachers ended up with really bad haircuts and you'd have pictures out there. I really hoping it was going
halfway through.
What with before and after pictures?
Yeah, I was really hoping it was going there. Like
the head
one half way longer. Yeah, bold spots all over.
It said, right, you're allowed your haircut, but you've got to have it done in lockdown fashion. So they all come out looking like Joe Exotic.
Or the hairdresser has 2 meter long scissors going.
In a masterful piece of understatement, they also said that the person who was going to be doing the hair was a salon owner who was, quote, less busy than usual at the moment.
Well, I think she was.
But do you think the teacher who reported it is now gone for the chop?
Oh dear.
Oh, George, you got one from Roger. That is impressive.
I got one last week from Roger as well.
Yeah, George is on his way to the. George is clearly on his way to the fringe.
Oh.
Oh, come on! How is his better?
Because it winds you up. Okay,
you don't need to be so bold about it, Roger.
let's look at our schools. Lessons will be learnt.
Well done, Lord Sparkles.
Yep. Don't quite get that one myself, but never mind.
They're in a school, Roger, and they've all learnt a lesson not to break the COVID rules.
So, anyway, let's move on to the next.
And the capital R is the R number. The capital R is the R number, isn't it? Clearly.
Oh, that's
come on, Roger.
subtle.
Pay attention. Pay attention.
I do apologise.
Every Lord Sparkles contribution is like a crossword clue.
That is true.
Right. This next story has been proposed by George Coppen. A Cheeto that looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger appeared on eBay. I actually think it looks a bit like George Coppen myself.
What, the Arnold
post,
Schwarzenegger
George.
picture? The Arnold...
It looks like the Thing from the Fantastic Four.
What, are you still on about the picture, yeah?
Yes.
No, she was on about you, George.
Yeah. Wouldn't be the first to say that.
So, yeah, this is someone who's listed this Cheeto for $10,000 on eBay.
On an unrelated note, I'm now 10 grand in debt if anyone wants to help me out.
I hope it tastes nice. I hope it tastes better than Arnold Schwarzenegger acts.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy it as a gift for someone. I mean, it's a bit cheesy.
No, it's not. It's flaming hot.
Yeah.
Oh, you fancy him, do you?
Not in it. To be fair, that does make him slightly more attractive to me than his original look. But for the sake of a bag of Cheetos that probably cost me 50p.
But look on the bright side, you get free shipping.
Oh. Because all
Talking
he's got
about
to do is throw it in the air and wait for the breeze to carry it.
It's odd that you should mention shipping, George. We'll move on to our next story.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
welcome. You're welcome.
How's that for a smooth link?
Oh, absolutely.
So,
I
does
reckon-
anyone want to tell us about this story?
Yeah.
It's a boat.
It's a very large container ship that has got stuck in the Suez Canal and blocked absolutely everything. And it's mind-boggling. If you see it down from lower, it's like a block of flats. It's huge. It's really high. And what gets me is that they said a bit of extra breeze suddenly blew it into that position. And I'm thinking,
I did say that on the news story.
a bit of extra breeze blew that with thousands of containers and about, I don't know, goodness knows how many meters high. It's really high. Anyway,
Don't
they're
you
gonna have
hate it when that happens?
Yeah.
When a
They're
bit
gonna
of
have a
breeze
real-
comes along.
Yeah, and turns a tank around. They're gonna have to. It's going to be mind blowing getting that because they barely have any tides along there, so it's not like it will float off at high tide or anything.
There is a high tide, but not a very big one.
Yeah.
Okay, and they are trying to refloat it each day. Okay, but if they can refloat it, they reckon it might be 2 or 3 days to get it unblocked. If they have to start taking containers off it, they reckon it'd be 2 to 3 weeks. Okay.
I tell you something, it looked like the world's shittest game of Battleship.
I was going to say, have they not thought of going to B2 and C6? You know what else as well?
Yeah.
Billy Joel is looking at this, rubbing his hands together, because that line in "We Didn't Start the Fire" is suddenly got all the more meaning. Trouble in the Suez!
So it's yeah, but having evergreen on the side of your ship is not very green when you block the Suez Canal and force the ships to go the long way round and use more fuel.
Pushing it.
So,
like, just one either end, just push it with a stick.
Do any of you know? Do any of you know how much passes through the Suez Canal every day in terms of value?
A lot.
Yeah.
A day.
Does anyone want to have a guess? Not you, Professor John.
grand.
If you've read it in the story, don't say anything.
I don't know. I don't know the figure.
All right.
There's about 400 ships with oil and fuel alone, so it's like gajillions.
2 trillion.
No, it's less. It's not 2 trillion a day, George.
I'll say 2 billion pounds.
2 billion. Do you want to have a guess, Katie?
I'd go 10 billion.
I'd say Katie's closer. It's $9.6 billion.
Close.
Or
Oh, that's
7 billion
really
pounds.
close. That's really. Oh yeah, pound. Okay.
Per day. Per day. That's
Well, I
the
think-
estimate value of the goods passing through the Suez Canal per day. So each day it's closed. This could cause shortages on shop shelves and things like that.
Yeah.
If it
Everything
carries on.
does, though. It's like when they shut our borders for truck drivers. There was a backstop for about 2 weeks. It clears quickly though, because they've still got more to go.
Katie
So,
was definitely
you guys-
closest, so she gets the free choice of container off that ship.
Awesome. I would like the one that's got my fucking sewing machine on it.
I'm not. It probably is stuck in the Suez Canal. I am not going to give any points out for being successful on that round, though, because on this show, points mean sod all.
But you know
So,
that picture? I don't know if you lot have seen the meme on Facebook. It just reminds me of that scene in Austin Powers. You know when he's got the cart stuck between the two walls and he can't move it, keep getting back and forth. That's what this reminds me of.
Let's run the video for the next round.
I predict a riot!
Oh, I've just had an email in from Priti Patel. I need to. That was too loud. That was too loud.
I predict a riot.
I think that one's better.
Very good. Very good.
Oh, that's good.
So this is the round where my guests make predictions. So I want a prediction from each person as to something that will happen before the end of this year. So let's go to Professor John first.
Right, well, very good continuity there, Roger, because my prediction relates to that last story. I think that ship's going to be stuck there for ages. There's going to be, as you said, loads of shipping having to go around the bottom of Africa and round up the side again. They're going to be really vulnerable to the Somali pirates up the east coast of Africa. The Somali pirates will get almost all the shipping that comes, and by the end of the year, Somalia will be the third biggest economic power in the world behind China and the USA. You heard it here first.
Right. Okay. We'll have a look at that one.
That's very dark.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Katie for something light.
I think Priti Patel is going to be visited by three spirits, and she's going to wake up on Easter Sunday and have a whole new change of heart.
And have two buck teeth.
Also, if you can hear me, Owen, that's my dickhead cat wants to go in the shower.
Right, Katie, wash your pussy.
He just opened the door to let himself in, and now he wants a shower.
We can hear
himself.
Oh, and the dog's here as well now.
George, can I have a prediction off you, or shall I make a prediction
sure.
that Katie will bury you in that hole she's dug?
Oh no,
it's got concrete now. I meant to send him a picture to say he was safe. It's got concrete in it now.
Oh wait, never, you forgot. Yeah, I'm safe. I've got two, just in case you don't accept the first one. My first one is all the lockdown plans will actually go ahead, and basically things will open on the date that Boris has suggested. There won't be any stops or any delays. Also,
on 21st of June.
Yeah, 21st of June. Everything will be open.
Everything will be open with no legal restrictions whatsoever.
Yeah, basically everything will go to plan. The route out of lockdown will go to plan. Well, I didn't think you'd accept that.
I'll accept it because I think you're wrong.
Don't be so negative.
God, Roger. I was also going to predict Paul McCartney's going to die, but
right.
I think I don't know.
Is Paul McCartney on the Deadpool?
I've got no idea, but we're moving on to the next round.
Fair enough. Hot up, Lagenek. Best voice.
This is where I'm going to ask each of my guests to plug whatever they want to plug, and we'll go to Katie Brown first.
Oh, thanks very much. Yes. So actually, I've got something now. Ginger Walrus is my business. It's just sort of starting. I am making reusable face wipes and other bits and bobs. There is a big theme in my business, which is body positivity, and that goes across to everybody, like male and female, whatever. And everything that I sell in my body positivity range, a portion of that will be donated. Thank you very much, Roger. A portion of that will be donated to a charity that is supporting work with body positivity, body image, and body dysmorphia, anorexia, eating disorder charities, and across the board. So there'll be a different charity every couple of months, and it's just my way of trying to help other people.
Okay, thank you very much. Professor John.
Well, I can't beat what Katie just said. That's fantastic, Katie. Or more power to your elbow. No, I can only report a couple of boring things. Well, actually, no, I should say boring because George is here. I'm on George Coppen's.
Cheers, Professor John. Cheers. Cheers, mate.
Fun night. When is it, George? 29th of May? Something like that?
I haven't got a clue.
That sort of time?
Yeah, 29th. Part of the comedy festival.
And I should be taking part in the Leicester Comedy Festival Silver Stand Up whenever that eventually happens. Postponed.
Oh, you don't call that boring, do you?
In the Ram Festival, in the Derby Comedy Festival. And other than that, as I always say, you can see me in Sainsbury's every other Tuesday doing the fortnightly shopping. And I'll be getting my second jab in East Goscote on Thursday, 27th of May at 2:30.
Fair enough. Okay, and over to George to plug whatever you want.
Well, I don't know if I've mentioned at all during the show. I've got a show called Fun Night. I don't know if I've said. See, this is what Roger gets for invading my show last week. I do a show called Fun Night every Saturday with one of my best friends, Ben Holmes, where I take people from the world of entertainment. Yeah, Meatloaf, which I now do with Meatloaf. I take people from the world of entertainment, mainly comedians, and I get them to do silly and ridiculous mini games. And I should apologise to Roger because I'm always stealing his guests, and I've actually got one of his guests that were on the show tonight on my show tomorrow. Do you know who? You know who that is, Roger?
Is it Katie?
No, it's me.
Oh, it's you.
Ned, I was just worried then. I was thinking, I haven't got that.
No, tomorrow we have the brilliant Susie Frost, the very funny Josh Reynolds, and the outrageous Queen Elizabeth on tomorrow night's show.
Oh,
so should be a
fantastic lineup. Yeah,
fantastic.
Definitely recommend people watch George's Fun Night.
Yeah, you can find out George
it's the best show on at 9 p.m. on a Saturday night.
Thank you. On the whole weekend.
No, on the Saturday night.
9 p.m. is the time. 9 p.m. is the time to be.
Show on Facebook and YouTube.
Thank you.
Okay. You're not getting any more than that out of me, George.
That's more than I expected.
Okay. The only other thing I'd like to mention is I do have a merch shop. The link is within the comments if you would like a T-shirt, which is being modelled by George kindly.
Hooray. Hooray.
No, not your Fun Night T-shirt.
That's the only T-shirt I've got on.
No, you've got my T-shirt underneath it.
Oh, this jacket. It's a really nice jacket, isn't it?
So
you don't want to see underneath.
Socks. We do mugs, socks, bags, masks, T-shirts, hoodies, you name it, it's on there. Go and have a look. So, and the last thing I want to do is thank my guests for being on the show. It's been lovely having you.
That's gone.
So,
thank you.
So,
it's been fun being here.
So I'll just check in comments, but I haven't got any comments to report. Thank you to all the viewers who have watched. If you are watching on catch-up or later in the week, please put a comment on saying when you're watching it and why not join us on a Friday night. We're on at Fridays, 9 p.m. till 10 p.m. every Friday. We've got a Easter special next week with some special guests, which will be announced later in the week. So come and join us live and comment and interact. It's always good. And it's been a pleasure, performing to you. And please hit subscribe on Facebook or subscribe on YouTube or like on Facebook. I'll get the right way around. And thank you to my guests, Professor John, George Coppen, Katie Brown. It's been a fantastic evening and it's time to run the credits. Good night.
Night.